being a professional is the utmost importance if you're going to get success and if you're going to have a happy customer. Stay tuned for this one, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Your Little Castle Show. Yours truly, the Cardinal Cowboy, Carter Rethers. I'll put the hat on here at a certain point, but you can see my title up there with the, that's me on the field doing a charity event at Busch Stadium. Kind of fun, little Patriots embraced. But being professional seems to go without saying. That's what every business should be. You've decided to include it in the name of your company.
Yes, I did.
Welcome our guest here, everyone, Mike Lumetta. I'm going to say this correctly. There it is. Mike Lumetta, owner, founder, operator, Your Professional Roofer, yourprofessionalroofer.com. Welcome to the studio here.
Well, thank you, sir.
Mike. All right, let's talk a little bit about the key to the success for most people is they understand a professional business. Well, how about our sponsor, Carol's Furniture, because you like nice things. Where do you like nice things? In your little castle that Mike might have helped you to repair, build, upgrade. You do general construction too.
Yeah, we're a general contractor, so we do anything to do with the exterior of a home or business.
Okay, and that gives a wide range then for people that understand that the roof is a key element, right? You want to make sure that roof is done correctly, but
definitely
you get siding, soffit, fascia, and then you get into, oh boy,
gutter guards, and with all the storms we've had, we've messing with screens.
Right.
Windows,
right?
Yeah.
Doors, a little bit of everything. And somebody who's done, now Mike's been doing this for 30 years. This is his second career, only 30 years doing this, right?
Right.
You know what you're doing if you've done it for 30 years. But I like your slogan there also. Our name says it all. I'm back to that emphasis on professional. My dad wrote the definition of professional because he felt that was an important focus for anybody. If you're going to survive on this planet, you want to do something specialized and be professional at it. So that's why did you decide to get into the roofing business? What led you here?
Well, a friend of mine was working for a company, and he seemed to enjoy it immensely, and there was a lot of independence involved. You had to really be a people person to get involved in this, and obviously not be afraid of heights.
Yeah, it seems to be common sense that you don't have to be afraid of, you can't be afraid of getting on a roof. Now, it's changed a little bit these days, but you still do you find yourself, are you still getting on every roof to check it out individually?
Quite frankly, no.
Okay.
I really love flat roofs. I can just set that ladder up, hop right on, hop right off.
But you're still on a roof there.
Yes.
And because you do a lot of commercial work too.
Yeah, we do a lot of commercial flat roofs.
Okay. And you're a professional roofer for commercial jobs too. But getting up on the roof, do you still enjoy that? You're a youngster.
I enjoy it. I enjoy analyzing the issues that people might have with their particular situation, and trying to find a solution that works for both of us. It's got to be a win-win for each, the client and the company. It doesn't do any good if the company is the only winner or the client is the only winner.
I like that one. Write that one down. Win mutually beneficial.
Correct. It has to be economically feasible and make sense to the homeowner or business owner.
True. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way you would assume it should be all the time, but there are those people who try to take advantage, and they don't stay in business for too long, I would imagine.
No, I've seen a lot of roofing companies get started by go-getting individuals, and unfortunately they make some money and they spend it the wrong way.
Okay.
Wild women, drugs, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
No,
there's a lot of ways.
I've seen that happen.
And the rest of it they wasted, right?
Yeah, right.
We've heard about that story. That's a funny one. So what really led you here then? You were in the automotive industry for a bit, but your buddy kind of...
I was in the wholesale tire business for a long time. And as that business evolved, I decided to take another route, and I tried the roofing business. I even went to Florida for to work the hurricanes for a contractor that was out of Texas. And once I got down there and found out he didn't have the proper licensing requirements, I had ended up spending 6 weeks and a whole lot of my own money finding out that he was illegal.
Oh, wow.
So
That's what we were talking about. That's not the way to do it.
I had a good reputation at that time, and there was a gentleman that owned a large roofing company here in St. Louis, and he called me on my way back when I was driving back from Florida and said, Mike, I want you to come in and talk to me. I think you could go to work for me. So I talked to him and ended up going to work for that gentleman. I stayed with him for 10, 11 years. And this might sound funny, but I decided to retire. And kind of like Colonel Sanders, at age 65, I started my own roofing company.
Not ready to hang it up just yet.
No, I enjoy doing what I do. I'm kind of a funny guy. If I feel that if you do the right thing, you don't have to worry about the money. So I never worry about the money. If I do the right thing and take care of my clients, the money's there.
Well said. I like that one. Do what's right, the money will come to you, right? It seems to make sense. If you've got a prosperous business, but you're not taking care of your clients, it will not be there for too long.
That's correct.
But if you're going to do what's right and perform the work that people need and helps benefit, that's the way this whole little world works.
Yeah, and I will tell you this, the reason we have such a good rating with the BBB and the Google and all that stuff and Facebook, on a residential roof build, either myself or my son or an English-speaking project manager is on site at all times. Let's face it, when I order materials, I'm not perfect. I might be short. Somebody has to run and get some wood that might be needed for the deck that might be bad for a client. And the crew doesn't want to stop. So somebody has to run to get materials that we may be short, handle any situation that may come up with the homeowner, so that that situation can be handled right then and there without dragging on and causing a bad review later on.
Take care of the client. Those things will take care of themselves.
That's it, exactly.
You mentioned the BBB. I know we did find your reviews, and we talked about that. But I put up on the wall here for everybody. But here's your professional roofer. Is that you, St. Charles? And A+ rating right there. I'll make this so that everybody can see it. Does that make you feel pretty good about the fact that you've got such a good rating there on the BBB?
Yeah, it does. It's very important because people do refer to the BBB for trying to find contractors that have a reputable name. And it's really important, not only a good rating, but longevity in business. They've done a lot of jobs. They've done a lot of work. And they've been around a long time. And they're local. With the storms we've had, it's impossible for all the local companies to handle all the damages that's been inflicted in our area. So a while back, we used to have only 350 to 400 roofers in the greater St. Louis area. And right now, we've got about 1,400 or so. And a lot of those are from out of town, obviously.
Right. It's a big influx there, and that's because of the storms we've had here recently?
True. We've just had, the last 2 years have really been hectic, to say the least.
Right. A couple big storms. We had a couple tornadoes come through here that were rare.
And I'm doing some tornado work. That tornado hit other areas besides the city of St. Louis, but we're working all over the place.
What should somebody be wary of when you see an influx of roofing contractors in the area?
All I can say is do your review. What's the terminology I'm trying to?
Well, check their background, their history, their
Yeah,
reviews.
There are some companies that are from out of town that are established in other cities, and by checking their Better Business Bureau in their hometowns, you might be able to find one that has a good rating and has a good written warranty, et cetera, et cetera.
Would you say it's probably more advantageous to work with somebody who's from the city that your house is in, though?
It definitely advantageous. You know, a year from now, when it dries up and everybody leaves town,
right?
And I've seen it happen many times. The companies leave town. There's leaks. There's a valley that leaks because they didn't put ice and water shield in it, or whatever the situation may be. And subsequently, we are out fixing roofs that are not even a year old.
Wow, yeah. So that comes back to one of the mentions we make: don't cut corners. When you're cutting, they didn't put ice and water shield. I'm not even certain what that is, but I can tell you I've heard about it, and it seems that that's something that is necessary to keep a roof properly protected. Now it's part of code. Is that often the case?
It is part of code in most areas. It's part of our modus operandi. If no matter what, every single home that has a valley will get ice and water shield in that valley, and just little details that people don't pay much attention to. If you have a front porch that's got a relatively low slope with shingles, and then it meets another section that goes a little higher, that whole section right there is problematic, and it should have a 3-foot wide strip of ice and water shield in that transition period area, and we do it all the time.
Yeah, because that would be a place where the fluid water would more easily penetrate, and wherever you got that crease or that bend, then there's more pressure, there's more opportunity for water to sneak in there. If water gets into stuff, that creates all kinds of problems.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's why you need experts to do the work properly, everyone. As we finish up here, let's go over some of your reviews. This makes it easy. I love this part where we get to talk about this a little bit, because in your case, 4.9, I'm going to put this, I'll put the wide camera, but you see up on the wall there, 4.9, and that's 54 reviews. So quite a few reviews there, and a 4.9. I guess one person may give you a 4, but
wasn't even a customer.
Wasn't even a customer. So that tells you that you definitely do pay attention to your reviews. I'm going to just pick one out here. Your professional roofer replaced our roof 5 years ago. Hail required the roof be replaced again because of our previous experience. We choose Mike Lumetta's company. Again, he handled everything seamlessly. His communication is outstanding, and he always returns calls. He stopped by the job to make sure everything went as planned. We're very pleased with the new roof, and we'll be calling him for other projects in the future. I'm so thankful to have found an honest contractor that takes pride in his work. I highly recommend your professional roofer for all your projects. There you go. That's kind of. She took some time to write that out, didn't she?
Yes.
Tell me.
I have a lot of repeat customers.
Okay.
People think, oh, I'm going to buy a roof. This is the only roof I ever need. And then 2 years later, they sell the house and move to another house. Oh, my, our new house needs a new roof. Oh, what was that guy's name? Mike, your professional roofer.
There you go. Get to know your professional roofer. We're going to show you some fun we get to do in the community. Check out a little bit of our excitement, and we'll be back here after this little fun community stuff. All right, everybody. I've got Jackson now. I hired as my highly priced videographer. We didn't say highly paid. We said highly priced. Come on up here, Jackson. So this is your dad, right?
Yes, sir.
Kevin. A couple things I noticed about Kevin. Awesome jersey he's got on there, right? Another thing really cool. Veteran, everybody. Air Force. and the Army, served in both, protecting us, keeping us safe,
Absolutely.
help us maintain this little thing we like called freedom, where we can go to Cardinal games whenever we want
Whenever
to.
you want, walk downtown and have a good time and be safe.
Tell me what you love about when you served in the military, real quick. I'm going to ask you what you love about the Cardinals. Come on up here a little bit, though.
I actually work on military bases pretty much on a weekly basis, and so I love going to the military base and make sure that I do telecommunications. So I want to make sure that we provide the communications that's going to help them perform and do the things they need to do.
That's important.
That's what I want.
That's what I went for grad school thing for. I'm communications. If you can't communicate, nothing else matters.
I agree, 100%.
Thank you for your service there. What do you love about the Cardinals?
What do I love about the Cardinals? Well, they're the best team in the country. You know, they got more fans. It's the greatest thing to come see. I don't care. I've been to New York games. I've been everywhere, and the Cardinals are number one in my opinion.
There's people around the country. I just started off on this little Cardinal Cowboy thing. It's gotten crazy. I got people from around the country who are like, Cowboy, I saw you here. Lots of great fans out there that have a lot of fun.
They're everywhere.
And the best looking fans in baseball too, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Father and son, you can see
Absolutely.
it right there. You never see your son and Brendan Donovan in the same place at the same time.
That's funny because we've had a lot of people say that about him.
You got to get that bandana hat. All right, everybody. Cardinal Cowboy outside patios. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! Well, there we go. Talking a little bit here with Mike about gold and silver. A little bit of a background there, a little bit of expertise there. That's kind of cool. Changing the way the world works now. Get into that and learn a little bit. I've been fortunate to be informed most recently of my buddy Curtis, and they even made a coin. They can make a coin for anybody, not just me, but this little coin got the Cardinal Cowboy on there. And then we got some cool ones here. There's the JFK coin, all kinds of fun stuff. Silver.
That's neat.
Pretty cool, isn't it? Let's do a quick cost analysis. Tell me, why should somebody choose you? What is the reason to go with somebody who's going to do the job properly? that cost analysis. How can some people will try to save money? They're going to get somebody who's going to their neighbor, their buddy, their brother-in-law. We joke. That's not necessarily the best way to do things.
Well, we're kind of real cost conscious on our overhead.
Okay.
We drive trucks with our name on them, but we didn't spend $4,000 to have a big fancy truck all wrapped up in vinyl and flashy. It just says you're a professional roofer, our name and phone number. And it costs us like, $400 to do a truck. I don't want to spend money foolishly when I'm trying to be competitive in today's market. The biggest mistake a customer can make is to go with the lowest price.
Yeah. Okay.
They're going to cut corners somewhere.
Yeah.
There's always ways to cut corners. I don't want to be, if I find out I'm the lowest priced out of 3 or 4 or 5 estimates, I made a mistake.
Cheap, we use this one periodically. Cheap gets very expensive. People get some, if they get, you cut some corners, you saved a few bucks, but ultimately that's going to come out. It's something that didn't get done. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah, we watch our overhead. We're very careful with how we spend our money. Obviously insurance is a big factor. Rent, operations. I mean, there is a cost to doing business. And some companies are so big and have so many people involved that their profit margin has to be 10 to 15% higher than what I can live on, which gives me an advantage as far as pricing goes. I would like to mention that we do our homework. We're certified with Owens Corning and GAF. We're masters in what they call low slope with GAF, which is commercial products. We're also masters in coatings with GAF and mule hide. So we have a lot of factory certifications that back up our work, and we're allowed to give extended warranties on a lot of our work that other contractors aren't able to.
Yeah, that's something that is very important to a lot of people. Tell me then a little bit more about why should someone choose your professional roofer? What are the big advantages you bring to the table?
Well, the important thing is I've been using the same crews. Everybody thinks relationship building in the roofing business doesn't exist, and that's not true. I've been using the same roofing crews for the last 16 years. I've been using the same flat roof crews for the last 16 years. I've seen the man that owned it and his little 15-year-old daughter grow up where she now owns the operation.
Yeah.
Because now it's a woman-owned operation.
Business, right.
And has an advantage there. So we're really careful on the crews we use. I've been forced to use some other crews now. I had the choice of several, and I went out and inspected their work to make sure that they were booking the shingles correctly. We even checked on some of them to make sure they were 6-nailed correctly, all in the right spot. Make sure the drip edge was on straight. A lot of detail work that we looked at to properly vet the crew to make sure they knew what they were doing also.
That's getting interesting. Yeah, you want to check to see if the guys are doing the right work, and you've gone as far as they actually, before you hired them, went to see some of the work they've done,
Right.
checked it out, and saw that they were doing the quality work that was necessary.
Correct. And I've seen some that I blocked their phone number.
Love you guys, but you're not going to work for us.
Correct.
And you saw that was not up to the level that you demand for your customers. Tell me then a little bit more about the specific certifications and some of the accolades that you've received over your years?
Well, there's an independent contractor rating company called Porch Incorporated. You can find it on our website. I think in 2020 or whenever it was, they voted us the best roofer in St. Peters, Missouri. Then we stay up on all our testing and all our. We're required to maintain our education to keep our certification with both Owens Corning and GAF in all aspects, besides shingle work, but also coatings and commercial flat roof.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, those are things that do help people make a peace of mind. They want to make sure they can find somebody that they can trust, and to get those kind of certifications, that proves that you've obviously earned that with the manufacturers, and that allows them to, you talked about getting specific warranties that you can't get otherwise, because who doesn't want to have their work and the labor and the materials covered for an extended period of time because it was done with a particular installation that is certified.
Right.
Very cool. Well, tell me, why should someone choose your company? If you had to name one or two things that really set it apart, that you're the one people should go with, tell me why.
The primary thing is satisfaction of work completion. When it's done, it's done. We don't hardly ever get any callbacks or B-backs. I've always said B-backs are really bad for me and the client. Yeah. So we make absolutely sure that house is done correctly from the very beginning. We're in the middle of the road as far as price goes. And with all the insurance work, we're all at the same price, basically.
Right.
I think technically it's illegal to, I'm not 100% sure of this, but I think it's illegal to eat the deductible for,
yeah, no, I've heard that is true.
For a customer. So we're all priced there. One thing I would like to make a note of, especially if you have a claim or you think you have a claim on your home, get with your contractor, whether it's me or somebody else that you trust, and have them meet with the insurance company adjuster while he's out there. Not so much to argue with them to try to get him to pay for things that he shouldn't pay for, but just to know that I want to know that we're all on the same page. I want to know when he says there's 9 window screens that need to be replaced.
Let's talk about that in the second half, everybody. We got a lot of great information here. Thanks. Stick around.